And we're live.
Hey, we're back again. How's everyone doing?
We're all good.
Hey, I watched the show on YouTube. Fantastic. Looks really good.
Oh, I didn't like it.
No? Why not?
Because, you know, like when you watch it on the telly now and it's a bigger picture,
Yes.
you see all the dust in my lounge. There's dust everywhere.
Do you know what? I've been doing some work today. I mean, I took Joanna up the attic today. And, yeah.
I beg you took her where?
I took her up the attic.
Well, that sounds painful.
No, because it's been raining. We've not been able to carry on with the painting. So let's go up the attic and let's clear the attic out. What do you think you mate?
No, well, you got to be clever on YouTube now. You've got to be careful.
I know. So anyway, we've cleared our attic out today and we dumped all the stuff in the lounge.
Yeah.
While we was doing that and sorting for everything, I put my Sky TV on. And on Sky Q, you can go to apps and you can select YouTube. And I was watching the show on YouTube, had it on the surround sound, and it looked absolutely fantastic.
That's what's great now. Most people have got smart TVs. So
Yeah.
Click of the button and we're on.
So we may lose some of the interaction with people on their sort of mobile devices and typing and whatnot.
Well, we had we had lots of chat going on, did we, Ian?
Well,
Yeah,
that's
we
good.
had some. We had some. The valves are warmed up. My telly's just coming on now. I don't know about surround sound, but
Look at that colour. Have you got colour? You saw black and white. Who's that shirtless person?
Just that was live on television, by the way.
Is that your lad?
That was my lad. Just walked down the stairs with no top on.
Is that your lad who was on when we was doing the sound check the other day? You was
That's
rollicking him.
That's Shay, yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Great stuff. So tonight's show is a little bit different to what we normally do. I mean, the biggest difference you're going to notice is we've got a new co-host with us, Asa. How are you, Asa?
I'm great, thank you very much.
And
Good to
Asa's
be
got-
with you all.
Yeah, you got a brand new laptop, which is good.
Yeah, I'm sorted finally. The other one, the handle worn off the side of it, winding it up.
Yeah.
So I've
Wow.
actually come into the modern era. And we were saying the other week, one thing about this situation we're all in is that the stuff I've learned is unbelievable. This podcast situation and being able to do what we're doing now. I mean, the other week when me and Ian, Jem hosting it and yourself, and me and Ian did the concert where he was playing the keys and I'm singing in Liverpool and he's in the Midlands was incredible.
Yeah. A lot of good response from that as well.
It's just amazing, though, to think that can be done. And to be honest, what's interesting about that, Thomas, is that after you did that, all of these entertainers, I mean, the huge names, all suddenly started releasing these singles exactly the same way.
Yeah. Well,
You
we
did
lead
it.
where others follow.
Yes.
That's right. CBTV did it first.
Yes.
We even managed
yes.
to do a whole show on Sunday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
So
It's incredible.
What we thought we'd do today is the three of you choose 3 songs.
Yeah.
Songs that mean something to you or songs that have a story. And we're going to take it in turns, round robin. Obviously, I'm not going to sing. But I'm going to just sit back, relax, and enjoy what you 3 have to offer this evening.
Mhm.
So what I think we should do is, being as Asa as our guest, I think we should let Asa go first. So Asa, what's your first song and what's the
Okay.
story behind it?
Are you not going to do any of your poetry?
Do you know what, Asa? I'm going to leave that till next week, if that's okay.
Well, I've
Yeah.
heard some of it.
Have you really?
Yeah, I love it. I like the one, especially the one you do about the love one you wrote.
It was meant to be just between you and I. That
that was
wasn't
a
meant to tell anybody about
Some of
that.
it was very beautiful and very deep.
Well, I am a bit of a poet and I don't know it, but there you go. I'm a Dylan Thomas fan myself. I do like Dylan Thomas.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And,
Who doesn't
went-
like her? Who doesn't like her?
Pamela.
yeah. So what have you got for us today? So what's your first?
I'll
What's
tell
your
you
first
what.
song?
The first one I'm going to play. One thing that we had a conversation the other day, me and Thomas, about discovering new music, and I know Ian and Jem will totally agree with this, is that you never stop learning or discovering music. You may think you know it all and you've heard every song, and then suddenly you hear a song and you're blown away. And during this situation, the lockdown, I've been playing my guitar a lot more and trying to learn new material. And I was going through a songbook I found about country music, because I'm a big fan of country music.
Funny you should say that about playing your
Yeah.
guitar. I mean, I've been strumming my banjo quite a bit during the lockdown as well. But there you go.
As long as you haven't snapped a string.
No.
Have you got that? Have you got that 5-finger shuffle yet?
He's been sitting on his other hand. He knows that one, look. Yeah, and I was going through, and with this book I found a lot of the songs I know, so I was playing them. But then I've got a habit sometimes of coming across a song and saying, "Oh, I don't know that," so I'll just turn the page. And I thought, no, I'll listen to the version on YouTube, etc. And I discovered these songs, and I came across the song called "I Threw It All Away," and I thought, and it said Bob Dylan. Now, I'm a huge fan of Dylan's writing, not as much of his singing, but I think he's one of the greatest songwriters of all time.
Agreed.
And I heard this song and I thought, well, I can't just pass it by. So I learned the song and I thought it was one of the best songs I've ever heard. And I don't know if you're familiar with it, guys, at all.
No.
I don't know what it's called yet. What's
You
it
did
called?
tell me about it yesterday.
It's called I Threw It All Away.
Let's have a listen to it then.
I will. Just give me a second. I'm going to pick the old guitar up here. Give me 2 seconds.
Of course, he did a load of stuff, didn't he?
I think, like Ace said, Dylan's songs are
Where's that
better
music coming from?
performed. I don't know. It's not from me.
I think that's Mrs. Murphy's mobile phone.
Oh. I heard a Bob Dylan song this week that he'd recorded, and he'd got his dog in on the recording.
Wow.
And his
Really?
dog starts barking halfway through the recording. His dog starts barking,
Brilliant.
and
He kept it in.
Yeah, they said, "Oh, he might as well just left it." Anyway, he left it in, but it's sounded great.
Yeah, that's it. Sometimes the certain things happen during the recording process, and you do think, well, it's there. So here's the shirtless boy going to walk past again now. Can you hear that okay, guys? Yeah?
Yeah, guitar maybe come down a little bit, Ace, I'd
Okay,
say.
yeah.
Yeah, take the
Yeah.
guitar down a little bit. That's it. Okay, over to you.
Okay, here we go. There we go. A little bit of a reverb on it. I once held her in my arms. She said she'd always stay. Well, I was cruel. I treated her like a fool, and I threw it all away. Once I had mountains in the palm of my hand, and rivers that ran through every day. But I must have been mad, 'cause I never knew what I had until I threw it all away. Love is all there is. It makes the world go round. Love, and only love, cannot be denied. No matter what you think about it, you just won't be able to do without it. Take a tip from one who's tried. So if you find someone who gives you all of their love, take it to your heart, don't let it stray. 'Cause one thing's for certain, you'll surely be hurting now if you throw it all away. If you throw it all away. So if you find someone who gives you all of their love, take it to your heart, don't let it stray. 'Cause one thing's for certain, you'll surely be hurting now if you throw it all away. If you throw it all away.
That's really nice, Asa. I've just been reading the Wikipedia page on that song, and it says it's one of the few songs about failed relationships that Dylan wrote where he actually took responsibility for the failure of the relationship.
Yeah, it's he did it. The first time he ever did it live was on the Johnny Cash show when he was an up and coming singer songwriter, and a lot of the country music world didn't really take him seriously. The country music fans, they fall into a sort of a category really of the diehards who don't accept certain types of country artists. For example, they never accepted John Denver. They always felt he was a bit sort of like lightweight, and I think the famous story was when he won the Country Music Best Singer Award and George Jones set it on fire. The actual piece of paper, when he read out who'd won it, he got his lighter out and set it on fire and dropped it on the floor. But I think what's happened with Bob Dylan is over the years people have realised that he was actually, as a songwriter, he was a genius.
Very similar to Leonard Cohen.
Very much so, yeah.
In that they haven't got the best voices.
Yeah.
But their ability to write and convey songs is second to none.
Well, possibly them two have probably written some of the greatest songs of all time.
Yeah.
I would say.
Sometimes when you hear other people sing the songs,
you
can connect with them better than sometimes with Dylan. I find Dylan a bit. But like you say, it's true what you say. The songs that he's written, some are great songs, you know.
Incredible.
One of them was our Christian song, and I can't remember who it was. Adele sang it, but it was a Dylan song.
It was, I know which one you're talking about. And I agree with you. I think Bob Dylan, other people sing his songs better.
Make You Feel My Love.
That's the one,
yeah.
Great song.
Yeah, that was the Christian song for our children.
Beautiful song, that.
Well, talking of Adele...
Maxine sang that, sorry.
Yeah, well, Maxine's an Adele tribute. And talking of Adele, we've got a place abroad, and our next-door neighbours, they used to own this wedding venue. And they just casually told me the one day that Adele's first song, is it a first hit, could have been Rolling in the Deep, possibly. Yeah. It was filmed at their country house, which was a wedding venue. So if you look at the video for that, it was their son's bedroom. So they had to strip all the son's bedroom out, get everything out of the way, and the video, I'm pretty certain it's Rolling in the Deep. It was filmed in our friend's son's bedroom.
Wow.
Just in the outskirts of London. So, yeah. So, Ian, what have you got for us?
Well, Thomas, I completely misunderstood. When you said get 3 songs and talk about 3 songs, I thought they were going to be like records. You're going to put a record on and then talk about it, sort of like, you know, the this and that, the other and stuff. So while we had our little break, I thought, right, what shall I get? So I thought, that's I like that one. I've got that one. But then I looked and I thought they're all slow. They're all slow songs.
It doesn't
nice
matter.
though.
It's nice. Yeah.
So I am going to do. I'm going to do a slow one to start with.
Okay.
But I'll get this out of the way because this is probably a difficult one. So I'll get this one out of the way. But I am going to do a lively one. I've got a lively Sam Cooke song I'm going to do in the middle.
Great.
Twisting the Night Away. I'm going to do that one in the middle. But I thought, only because I've never tried it, Joe used to sing a song, Roy Orbison's song, called In Dreams.
Oh, what a song.
And
Incredible.
I thought, oh dear. I thought,
a song.
shall I have a go at this or shan't I have a go? So I thought, well, I'll have a go. And it can't... it can't be any worse than the other stuff I do. But this was a great song. Obviously, Roy Orbison, tragic life, great voice, great songs he did. You know, fell out of sort of out of fame, if you like, a little bit, and then he had that sort of revamp with the travelling Wilburys. You know, which was fabulous. And that concert, I don't know, have you seen the concert? I think it's all in black and white.
Yeah.
But all the stars are there, and it's a superb. Elvis Costello's on there, and they're all there, and it's a superb thing. But Roy Orbison, obviously, brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and I do like his stuff. I mean, I know he did some great lively stuff as well. So I'm going to go on my piano.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm sitting over here, but I've pulled this over. I have got like I'm not going to use like the backing, but I have just got like a drum beat. I'm going to put on once it gets going, and just see how we go.
Okay. I'll go.
I thought when you said you was going to sing a song that Joe used to sing, I was half expecting Rosemary.
Yes, that one.
Well, you know, that was another one that when we were choosing records,
Or Little Piece of Leather.
Well, that was the record. That was what I was going to do, and I'd also found a record that I wanted to play to you to see if you recognise it. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but and we'll do it another week.
You can do it tonight if you want. Play me a little bit of it if you want.
But,
later
all right.
on.
Well, I'll find it. I'll get it on my phone, plug my phone in, and I'll play it to you. And you've probably never heard the song.
Yeah.
But I want to see your face because I think you'll go, this is and I think it will.
Is that the one you did all the research on?
Is the what?
Is that the one you did all the research on?
Yes. No, not that. No.
Honestly, Thomas, it's got
No, not that one.
pages full of information on a record because he misunderstood our assignment.
I just honestly, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot really because I wish I hadn't. I'd done all that. Turn that round there. Yeah, there you. She's a little piece of leather and she's well put together. Nobody could do that like Joe, though, could they? Nobody could do it like Joe. So we'll see. See how far we get with this. A candy-colored clown they call the Sandman tiptoes to my room late at night just to sprinkle stardust and to whisper, go to sleep, everything is alright. I close my eyes and I drift away into the magic night. I softly say a silent prayer like dreamers do. Then I fall asleep to dream my dream of you. In dreams I walk with you. In dreams I talk to you. In dreams you're mine all of the time we're together. In dreams, but just before the dawn I awake and find you gone. I can't help it, I can't help it if I cry. I remember that you said goodbye. It's too bad that all these things can only happen in my dreams. Only in dreams, in beautiful dreams. Oh, there
Wow.
we go.
Wow. I was waiting for the very, very high bit. But that was
That was
a
lovely,
lovely.
that.
That was a lovely version, Ian. That was.
I've never
Very
done it.
nice.
I've played it. I've played it hundreds of times. That was Joe's serious song. That was when we used to. I said, do a serious one. So yeah.
Well, it
we
was
used to
that
do-
or Unchained Melody, wasn't it?
Oh, that was another one. That was
Yeah.
beautiful. That was another. He used to do that lovely.
But that was great
To
song.
the sea. To
I,
the
get
sea.
I heard a great story about when the Beatles toured with Roy Orbison, and they used to. John Lennon went on stage and tuned his guitar up a semitone.
Oh right, okay. What to make him sound?
No, just to see whether he could actually hit some of those notes, a
Ah,
semitone up. So
him
In
smile.
Dreams and Crying, of course, were incredible. And his his notes were not falsetto notes; they were full voice notes, and they used to just a semitone, not a full tone up, just a semitone, and he would still go on and still hit the notes.
Brilliant.
Incredible voice.
Unbelievable.
Incredible voice. So Jem.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go on, Ian.
Did you see the thing about Blackpool in the week?
No.
There was obviously they're finding stuff, and it was recorded like a while ago, but it was all about the glory days of Blackpool, how fabulous Blackpool was, and it was funny because they had the Beatles there, and the guy was there who actually was there to like look after the Beatles for the day, and he said they were standing there in the corridor. He said I went up. He said I said, "Excuse me, can I have your autograph, please?" And I think John Lennon said to him, he said, "We're rehearsing." And he went, "Oh," he said, "I didn't realise." He said they were standing there. He said they were rehearsing it, like just singing the songs and stuff. And he said, I still remember to this day. He said when they went on stage, he said, and they did a Hard Day's Night. And you know that first chord they had?
Yeah.
Bang, and the guy, he said, even thinking about it now, he said the hairs go up on the back of my neck. But they had Frank Sinatra was in Blackpool in concert there.
Wow.
And they had the guy who was his driver while he was in Blackpool. He said, and he said everybody was there going mad and like what's it? He said, and he was like, and this is when Frank had fell out of favour a little bit in America, but when he came over here, he was like still a huge star. Of course, to go to Blackpool, and they were all there surrounding the car and everything and sing. And Frank Sinatra said to his driver, he said. He said, they seem to like me around here. He said, oh, yes, Mr. Sartre. He said, yeah. He said, you're still very, no, he said, you're very famous. He said, I reckon I could run for mayor here. And he said, I think you could, Mr. Sinatra.
So did the guy get the John Lennon autograph, or did he say
I don't
no
know.
because he's rehearsing?
Well, he didn't say, but I presume he would have done. I presume he would have done. But they had Jane Mansfield standing there to turn the lights on, to turn the Blackpool illuminations on. And you forget how brilliant the nightlife was. They were on about not Little and Large. Was it Little and Large? No, Ball. Bobby Ball
Cannon and
and
Ball.
Cannon and Ball. The guy was saying when they did the one theatre, it was a 3,000 seat theatre. They were doing 2 shows a day, and they were doing it for 3-4 weeks. He said, and every show was a sellout.
Wow.
How many tickets is that? That's unbelievable, isn't it?
It's funny. I actually did a season in Blackpool with Cannon and Ball,
You did. I came and saw you.
and it was they're not the easiest guys to get on with. They're very, very funny guys, but one of their riders in their contracts is that their dressing rooms have to be exactly the same. Exactly.
Wow.
They refused to go on for rehearsals because one had a better fridge than the other one. Seriously, rehearsals stopped. So they brought a new fridge in, and then we could carry on. Ridiculous. A fridge.
Goodness me.
Fridge.
That is terrible.
If you allowed riders like that, well, use them. Do you know what I mean?
Great. That what you're mentioning there, Ian, about Sinatra, that was 1953. He came to Blackpool.
Was it?
Yeah, and I've got the recording of him at Blackpool because he also came to the Liverpool Empire as well.
He was there, weren't you, AC? You got his autograph, didn't you?
I wish I was. Well, he did the Empire, and hardly anybody turned up at the Liverpool Empire or at Blackpool. He was at the I think he might have been. I've got the recording. I don't know whether he was at the Blackpool Opera House or the Palladium, not sure, but it was during the period in his career where it was going downhill badly for him because he'd refused lots of contracts because he was chasing Ava Gardner around the world. He was in love with Ava Gardner and chasing around the world. And in the end, he got it back together again, and he got the part for From Here to Eternity and won the Oscar for it. But in 53, I think I'm right in saying I was told that the show was put on by Val Parnell in the Liverpool Empire, and only around 170 people came to see him.
Wow.
And he walked on, he did about half an hour, and he walked off.
I wonder if he came again then. I wonder
He
how many
did.
times he came. Because the footage that I saw when he was in Blackpool, the car was there.
Yeah.
There were like hundreds of people around the car.
He came again
So
3
I
or
think
4
that must
years
be-
later.
Yeah, well, I
I
think
think-
that must have been later
Yeah.
then.
About 4 years later, he won the Oscar from Here to Eternity, and he met Nelson Riddle, and they did that album, Songs for Swinging Lovers, which is the greatest album he ever did.
Fly Me to the Moon's on that. isn't
Fly
it?
Me to the Moon, Under My
Yeah.
Skin,
The
Some
arrangements.
Wind. And then he was catapulted back to the, those upper echelons that he was so used to. But in 53, he couldn't get bookings for Love Nor Money.
I
Strange.
didn't know until they said that he fell out of favour in America, but
Yeah.
over here he was still a big star. It's great.
Yeah.
So, Jem, it's your turn to sing now.
Okay, so the first song I've picked, I've picked this off my dad. Bless him.
Okay.
Lost him just literally this time last year. AC, you'll appreciate this. We used to. My dad was a cabaret act, and he
Yeah.
did a lot in Liverpool. And I'd go to every gig. Every Saturday and Sunday, I'd go with my dad to his gigs, and I'd either sit in the dressing room or we'd sit in the club, playing bingo with my mum. And we got to one particular club in Liverpool. I can't remember which club it was, but they were like, "Sorry, there's no children allowed in the club." And my dad's like, "Oh, it's okay. I'll just sit in the dressing room." And my dad's like, "Well, in the dressing room, there's only artists. Artists only allowed in the dressing room." So my dad told me, well, he's part of the show. Oh, okay. He's like, "Listen, just come on, sing a song with me. It doesn't matter what the song is, just sing a song with me. Go back to the dressing room." So this is the song that we picked. And because I'd heard them all so many times, I'd naturally made up a harmony. So I went on and harmonised with him. And he was like, "Okay, stay on with the second song, stay on with it." And by next week, I had costumes made, and then we were touring around together, bless him. I was only about 9 or 10.
Brilliant.
And then this particular song, try not to get emotional now. This particular song is actually the last song we ever sang together.
Oh,
And funny
lovely.
enough, Ian that played it. And it was here at Clarick. Dad came for a little holiday. He got up in the open mic and we sang this song together.
Lovely.
It's a Bee Gees song, but we're not one of those up there. It's a lovely song. This is words.
Right.
Or as you might say, Asa, words.
Wait.
Words.
Lovely song, mate. Beautiful.
Smile, an everlasting smile. A smile can bring you near to me, and I will give you all my life. I'm here if you should call to me. This world has lost its glory. Let's start a brand new story now, my love. Right now, there'll be no other time, and I can show you how, my love. Talk in everlasting words and dedicate them all to me. And I will give you all my life. I'm here if you should call to me. You think that I don't even mean a single word I say. It's only words, and words are all I have to take your heart away. Da 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 da. You think that I don't even mean a single word I say. It's only words. Words are all I have to take your heart away. It's only words. Words are all I have to take your heart away. It's only words. Words are all I have to take your heart away.
Oh, it's lovely, Jem. Really nice, mate.
Oh, sorry, I pressed the wrong button.
That was lovely there. Brilliant there. Lovely.
God bless him.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice.
And again, it makes, I don't know, do I have to put my video back on or?
Yes, please.
I don't even,
I think you look better with it off, to be fair.
Thanks very much.
Only if you want us to see you.
Sorry. I'm still getting used to this. Well, the host has to put it back on, it says.
Oh. Who's doing what?
There you go. Should be back on now, yeah. I think, again, we mentioned about Dylan, Bee Gees again. You could, the songs that they've written, unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's so different.
So different,
compare
yeah.
that to something like Boogie Shoes or
Yeah.
Disco Inferno. Just incredible. You don't realise some of the songs they actually did write. That was
Yeah.
I've never been a big fan. This is going to sound quite controversial. I've never been a massive fan of the Bee Gees as performers.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge fan of the Bee Gees as writers.
Yeah. Totally with you on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they came across a particular style of singing which was so different. You know, it was use of the vibrato and the way they, that Barry sang was different, wasn't it? So different at the time, and they got the Mickey taken out of them a lot, I think. But then
I think it was overuse. For me,
Yeah,
I think
maybe,
it was over. I mean, you compare his vibrato to say somebody like Frankie Valli.
Yeah.
And again, personal opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong; they're both great performers, but for me, Frankie Valli is streets ahead with that style of singing.
Yeah.
Compared
I just think again, you had that magic of the four brothers at the time before Andy passed away. Those voices going together were just something else.
Have you ever seen the film they did?
No, I don't think I have.
It's one of the worst films ever. That it's so bad.
No.
They actually did a film version of Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Oh no.
It's
Yeah,
then
terrible.
What's his name? Oh, another 70s singer. Is it Peter Frampton?
Peter Gordino.
No, I
No.
think Peter Frampton.
I saw a
Yeah.
photo of him the other day, Peter Gordino. That was funny.
Peter
I thought,
Frampton
who's
plays
that?
Billy. as
Yeah.
in,
Oh
Billy.
no, that's terrible.
They play the band.
Yeah.
Frankie Howard plays Mr. Mustard.
Yeah.
It's absolutely dreadful, but it's brilliant. And at the end of the film, they get like this big celebrity lineup to all sing the reprise of Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And you've got people like Carol Channing. At the time, that's when Tina Turner was on her dip, so Tina Turner was there, all singing this song that none of them know the words to. None of them know the choreography to, but it's the big finale. If you get the chance,
I'm gonna watch that on YouTube. I'll find it.
dreadful, but it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the way they've changed the songs to fit to make a complete story of it. So Steve Martin's in it. Steve Martin plays the Maxwell's Hammer.
All right. Yeah.
A little bit like his Little Shop of Horrors role. It's honestly, it's dreadful. It's so bad. It's
If you find a link for it, Jem, put the link
I'll have a
on the
look.
page. Yeah, put the link.
Yeah.
So, Asa, we're back to you, mate.
Okay.
It's your second song.
Okay. I was going to mention one of the movies you've been in, Thomas. I thought I know.
Which one was that, then, Asa?
But they're not on. They're not on YouTube.
Is that the
No,
one
no,
with
no.
the blow up donkey?
Yeah, there's the one called Thomas Does Aberystwyth.
Oh, excellent.
Again.
One you're
Yeah,
right.
there's the follow up to that. It's Thomas says Aberystwyth again. Yeah.
Two. That's it. They're only available from selected outlets.
Yeah, or on my mobile phone. I can WhatsApp it to you, no problem at all.
Well, I'll tell you what I've done now. I'm going to change instrument now because I've brought me banjo.
Okay.
Like I said, because obviously my origins are a bit like Jem. My family, my father and my family are all Irish. So a lot of the music...
I never would have guessed that with a surname like Murphy.
Of course, yeah.
I thought you was Welsh.
Well, so a lot of the music that I was brought up with and gets played at family parties is Irish songs. And recently this year I wrote the stage musical Irish Annies. Which opened up on March the 15th, which was the day before the lockdown. So the show went on and then closed. So and that was a celebration of all the music that I was raised with. Where the stage was a bar and the different characters. We had a live Irish band. But this particular song I'd like to sing for you now is a really old song performed by many artists, but my favourite version was done by the Furies and a singer called Finbar Fury, who's an incredible singer, still alive now. And this is one that a bit like Jem, sort of brings back a lot of memories for me, family-wise. So if you give me 1 second, I'm going to pick the banjo up and plug the banjo in. 1 second.
Okay.
Do you think he's going to tune it up like you do here?
My dog's got fleas.
My dog's got fleas. What is it? Any idea where that came from?
I don't know. My granddad used to tell me that when I was. He say you have to tune it up. My dog's got fleas.
I was thinking maybe it's the notes, but it can't be because there's no N.
No.
There's a dog's got fleas.
I don't know. I'm trying to think if it was the guy at the Furies or what it was. I heard a song called "And We Waltzed in Matilda" or something, but it was about an Australian battle where all the Australians got they got killed. They got absolutely wiped out in this battle with the Turks.
Yes, there's a few. I mean, the famous battle for that one was Gallipoli, which was fought by an Irish regiment called the Connaught Rangers, who my granddad was in. And my granddad came over from Ireland. He joined the Connaught Rangers. He fought at Gallipoli. He survived. He was only one of 2,300 Irish lads who survived the Battle of Gallipoli. And he came over to England and he fathered my dad when he was 70 years of age.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, a bit like Richard Gere now, yeah. So he fathered my dad.
70 years of age?
Yeah, he fathered my dad at 70.
He must have had some jump leads.
I know. My nan was 43.
Hey, fair play to him. He's a bit like the Formula One boss, Bernie Ecclestone.
Yeah.
He's just had another child now, 89.
Wow. Well,
He's
Richard
89.
Gere had one this week, didn't he?
Did he?
Richard Gere's just had a son. He's 70 years of age. And didn't... who's the other guy, the TV presenter, British one? Didn't he? Come to me in a minute. He used to be on Des O'Connor. He also had a son, didn't he, at 72? So, can be done. So, he fathered me dad, and he'd had 10 children, you see. My dad was the youngest, so... And then he passed away when my dad was 10. So, but, you know, that's where a lot of this music comes from. So, this is called When You Were Sweet 16. So, hopefully... would you just give me a level on that? How's that, guys?
Yeah, it's fine.
Is that okay?
Yep.
And there we go. That a vocal okay, yeah?
Yep.
When first I saw the love light in your eyes, I thought the world held naught but joy for me. And even though we've drifted far apart, I never dreamed but what I dreamed of you. I love you as I've never loved before. Since first I saw you on the village green, come to me, and my dreams of love is all. I love you as I loved you when you were sweet, when you were sweet. 16. I love you as I never loved before. Since first I saw you on the village green. Come to me, all my dreams of love is all. I love you as I loved you when you were sweet, when you were sweet. 16. When you were sweet. 16.
That was lovely, Asa. Beautiful
Great,
song.
isn't they? I love
never
Irish
heard-
songs.
Never heard that song before.
You joke.
That's a lovely
No.
one, that one, mate, yeah.
Oh, Tom's, I love
No.
it.
And if you check out Finbar Fury and the Furies, he's got a particular style, and he always plays the banjo, and it has a bit with Irish music. It has a bit, and it's a bit plinky. Sounds a bit plinky plonky, but it's got, because it's got a skin drum on the instrument. There, like you can see there, skin drum. It's why you get that lovely.
Oh, okay. Well, one of my favourite places to visit on planet Earth is Kilkenny.
Yeah, it's lovely, Kilkenny.
And we try and go there at least twice a year for the last few years, excluding this year because of obviously what's going on. We've been out there for St. Paddy's weekend or for St. Paddy's Day.
Yeah.
And it's great because every bar, restaurant, every establishment you go to, you've got some form of live music or traditional Irish dancing or something going on. And it's absolutely brilliant. Some of the artists you get to see, some of the incredible talent doing the traditional Irish music is absolutely amazing. I'd recommend that. If anybody's thinking of going to Ireland when all this ends, all the lockdown finishes, and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to go to Dublin, with the greatest of respect to Dublin, Dublin's a great city, but give Kilkenny a go. For me, Kilkenny's...
I think
brilliant.
Getting outside of Dublin is a good thing, because Dublin is like London now. It's a huge multicultural city, European city. To sort of get a taste of real Ireland, you need to go down to places like Killarney and Kilkenny, Galway Bay as well, which is incredible down there, right down south. Cork is beautiful as well. And where my dad lived in Mitchelstown, he used to drink in a pub called the Mountain Barracks, which was full of farmers, and there was sawdust on the floor, and they were all in there with the wellies, and there was a peat fire going, and it was great, and one of the best pints of Guinness you'll ever have anywhere. But there used to be an act on of a Saturday night called Charlie Sweeney, and he'd play a banjo, and he had one eye and one arm. Right.
You play the banjo?
Yeah, he had this style of playing where he I don't know how he did it, but he had like a thing on his arm and all that, he could do. It was just weird. But what he had my dad had a mate, Michael O'Keefe, and he used to go in there, and Michael used to say, oh, not that fella again, is it? It's that Charlie Sweeney in the corner. And he'd have a couple of pints, and then after about the sixth pint, he'd say, he's not so bad, that fella, the more he drank, the
Yeah.
better Charlie Sweeney got.
Yeah, brilliant.
We,
And Kilkenny, you can order a pint of whatever in Kilkenny, and you can give the bartender €5, and you'll get change back. You won't
Right,
get that.
yeah.
You won't get that in Dublin.
No, you'd be
Right.
lucky to get it for €6.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think one of the best holidays I ever had. I mean, we've been to some great places, but one of my favourite holidays is we had a big family trip. We got a big house in the middle of Ireland, and then took all trips everywhere. That was
Brilliant.
Mm.
What shocked me is when we went to kiss the Blarney Stone, because we had to do it.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be just this stone in the middle of this field. I'm not very good with heights,
Oh, goodness me, yeah.
so having to bend over backwards.
They hang you upside down.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a bit of a thing for you, isn't it, Jem? Is you not used to bending over backwards here?
no, but seriously, have you not done it? Have you not kissed the Blarney Stone?
No.
So
Yeah,
imagine
I've
you've
done
got
it.
like a high wall here. Okay, you're on the top of the wall, then the stone is over here, so you have to go backwards. So they hold your legs
Yeah.
Yeah.
backwards to kiss the stone. Oh,
That's it, yeah.
You're about 100 foot high, and below you is a sheer drop with a couple of like metal bars, but they hold your legs, like you say. And that's right, Jem's right. That's the only way you get to kiss the Blarney Stone.
Wow.
Can I tell you a story? Years ago, and again, I suppose what would I be? We were early on in our career with like Joe and Max and the guitarist, and we used to play every Sunday night. We used to play Bordsley Labour Club in Birmingham, and round there it was in those days it was an Irish area, and Bordsley Labour Club, it was full of Irish. And I always remember, I mean, we had some great nights in there. We had some great talent shows and stuff in there that we sort of act. But I always remember there was one lady, and they'd all have like a good drink on a Sunday night. We were there. We did a free and easy. And she'd get up, and she was like not young, so she'd come up and she'd sit on the front of the stage and she'd say, "Where's the microphone?" And I'd say, "Yeah, there's the microphone." So she'd get the microphone and she'd say, "Okay, you follow me." And then she'd go, "Hold on." And she used to take her teeth out, and put them on the stage at the side of her, sing the song, and then pick them up and put them back in.
Brilliant.
It was hilarious. It was so funny. But it was a terrific.
You said it was a Sunday afternoon?
No, Sunday night. That was
Sunday night. Because
Yeah.
well, I remember as a kid growing up, when it was a dry county, when the licensing laws were different, the old licensing laws, Sunday afternoon in the Showboat Club, it was the place to be, because it was one of the only places in the county where you could get a drink above board, you know? Because back then you couldn't open on a Sunday because of the licensing laws. And we
Wow.
used to have some great afternoons in the Showboat on a Sunday. We used to have an old piano in there. That was before your two's time here, I think, Jem and Ian.
When I first came, there was like a little grand on the stage, like a little grand piano on the stage.
Yeah. And it was say on the Sunday afternoon, it was the place to be.
Yeah, the great Sunday afternoons. When the Green Room opened 10 years ago, they were the best nights. They were open in Duke Street. Ricky Tomlinson had a club, and Friday nights was packed, Saturday nights. But my favourite was Sunday afternoon, because the club would open at 12:30, and the first act would come on about 2:30. So they'd all had a good few sherbets by the time the first act come on. And the atmosphere was incredible. Everybody would roll out of there about 7 o'clock and then roll down the hill into town and carry on. But the atmosphere on the Sunday afternoon was so good. It was better than Friday and Saturday night.
When I used to go to Benidorm with my in-laws, we used to go to
Benidorm. Had you used to
Yeah.
go to Benidorm?
love Benidorm. Now, hopefully somebody online on the chat's going to it's the name of it's on the tip of my tongue. There was a bar, a pub we used to go to on a Sunday afternoon, and it was a sing along Sunday. And the guy, similar to you, Ian, he had his piano, and anybody could get up and sing.
The Starlight Bar, was it?
No,
Wasn't-
it
no.
wasn't the start. It was on the corner. I should know the name of it, because the guy who was the piano player there, he was Mike Reed's brother from EastEnders. I think his name's Brian. Do you know it, Jem?
No, but I just sorry, I was doing my Mike Reed impression.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. And it's brilliant. It's Sunday afternoon. I'll think hopefully somebody will put the name of the bar in the chat. Buddies, there you go. Buddies Bar.
Buddies.
Buddies Bar on a Sunday afternoon in Benidorm. It was brilliant.
I have to say,
And-
amazing how they do that. Ian does it. I don't know how they do
He would
it.
play he would play anything. And the good thing about it you go some places, and with the greatest of respect, you see it in the club on Saturday night in Claret sometimes when people get up for the free and easy. You got some people who are pretty good, half decent, can hold a tune, but you got some people who are pretty awful, you know. But for some reason, in Buddies, everybody that got up, they could all sing, and it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. If anybody who's listening tonight has been to Buddies Bar in Benidorm on a Sunday afternoon with Brian Reed, let us know. Drop us a note in the chat. So
Ian manages to make them all sound good, though.
yeah,
It's
don't think so.
You'll see him
can't make me sound good.
Yeah, okay, there are some.
Yeah. So are we back to Ian?
Okay.
Well, I don't know. We've had requests for you to sing one, Thomas. We've had requests for
have.
you to.
Do you know what? I will. And I've got a mixer now, so I can put effects on my mic.
Yeah.
But I won't do it tonight.
No Paddy McGinty's goat, no.
But I've got a bad foot, Asa, so I can't do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Ian, we're back to you.
Well, when I was going to choose the records, Thomas, today, I was going to choose A Change Is Going to Come by Sam Cooke.
Oh, great song, that, mate.
Because it is a great song. And I did say, the other night we had, was it James Franklin?
Yes.
James Franklin sang, he did a spot the one night on here. And he said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm struggling with my voice tonight." He said, and it got like or whatever. And he sang A Change Is Gonna Come, and he sang it. What a great version he sang! And I thought, whoa, what a great voice he's got. And I've heard James sing down the holiday park, and you know, and I've sort of gone, oh yeah, singing okay. But the other night when he sang that, and I thought, because obviously, perhaps it's because when we're on here now, you're listening a little bit more than perhaps what you would listen if you were out or in a room somewhere or whatever.
Do you know what else I think it is as well, Ian? And this is something that is that really gets under my skin. And there's not much before in the old days that you could do things about it, but now those days have gone. When you've got a decent artist on, when you've got Asa on in the club, or you've got James Franklin on the club, and you've got people in there, the one thing that winds me up more than anything is when they're singing a big song or any song, you got people talking over the top of them, and you got people chatting, or somebody will walk straight across the front of the stage, you know. And you think to yourself, why do that? Why have you come out to sit in a room where you've got a talented vocalist on, and you're just going to talk over the top of them? And I think that has a big impact, because when you're doing these gigs at home and you're listening at home, there's nothing to sort of interrupt you, right? You've got your headphones on or whatever, and you've got your speaker on, and it's just you and the artist, and you can hear the quality of the voice. Whereas sometimes
it's a rare opportunity for us, really. And like you say, Jem and Ian and myself and people like James and Steve Charles and all great singers. It's a rare opportunity for us to do something like this. We all live with that, Thomas, with the person walking right across in front of you, literally a foot away, and you've got to bite your tongue and not say anything, you know.
Back in the old days, Asa, back in the old days, when I first started comparing in the club, I learned how to compare from Des Ford, our original entertainment manager at Claret Bay. And Des was very old school, very authoritarian, and he would not bring the artist on until he had complete order in that room.
Well, that's great. That's real professional, isn't it?
And he would stand there. He would say, "Oh, I've got all night. I'm gonna stand there." And he'd be there in his dinner suit. But I think something's changed now. I don't know what's changed, but now people just don't listen. You know. And what do you do? Do you take the heavy-handed approach and go up to them saying, "Look, I'm sorry if you carry on, you got to leave." You know, that sometimes causes more trouble than what it's worth. But it just seems now sometimes the impression you get is if the kids are out of the way and the parents having a few drinks, it doesn't matter what the kids are doing as long as they're not bothering the parents.
Yeah, you know,
and it's a shame.
I remember about 10 years ago, one of the biggest gigs of my career was Ronnie Scott's in London.
Oh, did you do Ronnie Scott's?
Yeah, it was a big deal for me because I love
Ronnie Scott's.
I got booked there, but part of the deal of getting booked at Ronnie Scott's was that I had to do original material as well. So because it's a jazz club, swing music.
Which room did you do? Upstairs? The main room.
Downstairs, yeah. It's a little tiny stage, only small.
Right.
And that night there was all celebrities in there. There was Josh Stone was in the audience. Kevin Spacey was there because he was running the Vic, and he was a huge Bobby Darin fan, so he was in the audience. And So I wrote 5 of the songs for the show. I was backed by the Ronnie Scott's All Stars. The piano player is a guy called James Pearson. So I turned up. They were incredible. Turned up with all my sheet music. We rehearsed upstairs on a little piano, sorry, and then we did the show that night. During the show, somebody started talking, and I remember the bouncer, and I was singing a song that Bobby Darin recorded called Once Upon a Time. It was a real lovely ballad, and this bouncer went up and tapped this person, said, and I could hear, that's enough, went off, person carried on, again, that's it, out, done, just like that. Yeah. No talking allowed at all, and they acted on it there.
Well, I pitched an idea. The last time I was at Ronnie Scott's a couple of years ago, they had these little 10 cards on the table, and it was very politely worded, and I had some replicated to put on some of the tables in our parks. But basically, he says, look, can you please keep noise to an absolute minimum whilst the artist is on? Whilst the artist is on. And do you know what? And this is, I'm saying this to everybody that's listening tonight. If you're a regular visitor to our clubs, you'll know what I'm talking about. But if we could be in a position where we could get more order and everybody would, for 45 to an hour, just sit down and listen, we could bring you more live performances like this. I mean, it's a waste of time, me booking Asa to sing in the main room in Clarick in the middle of the summer. Because the type of show you do, Asa, it's a full-on show. You need to sit down and listen,
Yeah, I mean, we've had some fun in the back room.
The back room's different. It's
Ian
small.
And
it's
Joe and Jen.
It's intimate. It's different. But in the main room, or any of the larger venues, when you got kids and it's the middle of the summer and that, it is difficult.
Hard work, yeah.
It is hard work. So let's get back to the show.
Okay.
Well, I've gone that once upon a time. Can you remember, Asa? Can you remember when you played at Ronnie Scott? Can you remember the drummer's name? Was it a guy called Mark Fletcher?
I think it may have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Might have been Mark Fletcher, yeah.
Yeah, well, I know Mark Fletcher through, the other Mark that came and did the opening night, Thomas, for Mark Powell came and did the opening night for Joe when after Joe passed away. And Mark came and played the drums, Mark.
Oh,
Powell.
yeah.
Well,
He did a solo act as well, didn't he? He's a comedian.
Yeah, well, he's... No, he just played drums.
No. I'm thinking, yes.
Well, he's big friends with Mark Fletcher. Ronnie Scott.
Okay.
Mark Fletcher used to play with a duo, I believe it was down the road here.
Wow.
And he showed me this. He said, just do a search on this thing. And, who's the... Quincy Jones. There's a big Quincy Jones night with a big orchestra and whatnot. And there's the drummer, Mark Fletcher.
Yeah.
Quincy Jones.
So the musicians they have in the Ronnie Scott All Stars, they change a lot. They have an Italian drummer there as well, guy who's incredible. But the main guy on the piano is James Pearson. He's still there now, and he is absolutely incredible. And I don't know if you remember, Thomas. Do you remember all the little pictures on the photographs on the wall, right round Ronnie Scott's? Because the seating is sort of layered.
It's like, yeah, I mean, the thing is, when I went there, it was about 11:30, and I'd been out for about 7 or 8 hours prior to that.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, the seating's layered.
Yeah.
It's layered. So there's a floor seating, but then the seatings go up in layers.
Yeah, and they're like little booths, aren't they?
And then there's little tiny square photographs of all the artists who've ever headlined in there, and they're all taken by one photographer who's been at Ronnie Scott for many years, and the photographs are just incredible. Ella Fitzgerald, and obviously Sinatra, Tony Bennett, all the greats, and all their photographs. The guy's name will come to me in a minute, and he takes your photograph, and his signature goes along the bottom of the photograph, and you get a copy of that to keep forever, for life, And it's a wonderful place.
And is the photograph taken during the performance, or
during the performance? Yeah, while you're on stage, he takes the photograph, and then he gives you a selection of them as a keepsake. Obviously, you have to ask his permission to use them if you want to, because there are signatures across them. But then one of them goes on the wall in Ronnie Scott's, and it's great.
You know the Once Upon a Time?
Yeah.
Is that Once upon a time, a girl with moonlight
in her eyes said he loved her mine and said she loved her so.
Beautiful song. I didn't know he did a version of that.
Yeah, that was once upon a time.
Many years ago.
Yeah,
I've
it's
got
a
Victor Mount singing that.
that's a great song, that mate. I love that.
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
love
This has
that
been a
song.
great show. I've really enjoyed this tonight. Really enjoyed it.
That's because you haven't got to do anything.
No, to me, I feel like I'm a member of the audience, just sitting back and just listening to the three of you just do great things. So yeah, really, really happy with that. So let's have some more live music.
Yeah.
Right, Sam Cooke. I was going to do that, was it? Like I said, but I don't play that. I'm going to do a Sam Cooke song. All my songs that I was looking at tonight, I thought, oh, they're all slow stuff. So I am going to do this one, "Twisting the Night Away." This was one of Sam Cooke's hits. We were saying earlier about, I think before we came on, about Sam Cooke's life and his tragic death. And it was never, ever sort of solved, really, his death. And there were lots of conspiracy theories.
Yeah, I always heard he was shot dead by the owner of a motel who's a female, and he was in there with a prostitute.
Yeah, well, the girl said that allegedly he tried to. She wanted to go home, but he wanted to take her to this motel. She didn't want to go there, but she went there, and then he was trying to rape her, allegedly trying to rape her and trying to do things. So when he went to the bathroom, she took her opportunity to grab her clothes, but at the same time, she mistakenly picked up his clothes and she ran out the room and she ran off.
Yeah.
He came out. I don't know if he just got his socks on or a pair of pants and socks or something, saying like, "Is she here? Is she here?" And then that's where it gets a bit strange, really, because the owner of the hotel, So was on the phone to the manageress of the hotel, and she heard the fracas go on. He forced his way into like the reception, into the office, because he was after this girl, because this girl had gone off with his clothes.
Yeah.
And his money, because that night, for some reason, he was carrying a lot of money that was
$2,000, wasn't it?
I don't know, but it was never found. The only thing they found was his wallet. I think there was $100 or something in this wallet, and he apparently tried to attack the manageress. So the manageress shot him in the chest, and allegedly again he said, "Oh, you've shot me," and then he went at her again. So she's hitting him with the broom, and she was fighting him off with the broom. The police obviously he died there and then. The police came and sort of took it away. She never actually went there. She went around the corner because they found the police from the hotel. But this girl, she found the police as well, and she was all upset. And she'd hidden his clothes somewhere, and this and the other. Etta James was a friend of Sam Cooke's. When Etta James went and saw Sam after he died, she said that there was no way that this woman had beaten Sam Cooke off with the broom, because his nose was all broken and his head was nearly severed from his body. It looked like he'd been beaten up that much. And it was never solved. And it was funny because the girl, who was a nice girl, after Sam's death, she got arrested again, but she didn't get charged because they said it was entrapment, because they were trying to get her as a prostitute. And then a bit later on, she was with another guy, and he got killed, and then she got imprisoned for that.
But am I right in saying the girl was she a lady of the night?
I think she was. Yeah, she was a prostitute.
Yeah,
but there were lots of conspiracies because he was worth an awful lot of money. He got a record company. He got like a recording company called SAR. He got a publishing company, and then he got rid of his manager, and he got a new manager in to manage these companies. They did this deal with RCA Victor. That they got the distribution. They got part of the distribution. He got a huge advance. It was like I think it was a 3-year deal that was extended into a 5-year deal. He got something like $100,000, I think, a year. He got $100,000 advanced, and he kept to keep the rights to his songs. Because he wrote his songs, he did all his songs.
He seemed quite a savvy businessman then.
Yeah, he was.
He
Yeah,
was
yeah.
worth a fortune. Worth
He
a
had
fortune.
he had two. He had a foot in each camp. He had the soul music crossover to pop, but he also had the gospel music
Well, he was a
audience as
gospel singer
well.
to start with,
So
yeah,
so he had both, didn't he? Ian, he had
Yeah.
the record deals going with this Sam Cooke and the Soul Stirrers, but also the other stuff like You Send Me and all that, the Cupid, which the gospel audience wouldn't buy, but they would buy.
That's a great song, isn't it? You
Yeah,
Send
they
Me.
buy
Oh.
they buy the
Yeah.
other stuff.
But it's the voice, Thomas. He got a
Incredible.
great, easy, soulful voice, and you know, at the time, obviously because of all the segregation and all the problems that they'd got, you know, sort of with blacks in America, you know, the racial thing in America, he paved the way for a lot then of the singers to come, Aretha Franklin. Otis Redding, you know, the great singers. They probably would have struggled, you know, a bit more without him laying the foundation. Because he was black and because he was so successful, there was at the time, I think, a lot of resentment in those camps. You know, so we don't actually know what happened. But it was I think he was 33 when he died.
Sounds like the makings of a Netflix documentary, doesn't it? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something
they probably
they should
they will
reopen
make a
and-
movie about him one day. I
Yeah,
think,
something
like
they should reopen.
yeah, like they did with Ray Charles. I think a Sam Cooke film would be incredible.
Ray Charles sang at Sam Cooke's funeral. He had two funerals. Sam Cooke, he was that famous. He had two funerals, and Ray Charles sang. I can't remember the song. Something like the angels watched over us, or the
Yeah.
angels watched over you, or something. But it was. It was great.
Okay, so
But
let's have it then.
This was. Pardon. I'll sing the song first. This was. But this is a great song. A song called "Twisting the Night Away." So
Great, love
I'll have a
this.
go. I think I found a rhythm that fits it. Anyway, it's not right. But we'll see. That'll. Let me tell you about a place somewhere up in New York way, where the people are so gay, twisting the night away. Here they have a lot of fun, putting trouble on the run. Men, you find the wholly young, twisting the night away, twisting. Everybody's feeling great, twisting the night away. Here's a man in evening clothes. How he got here, I don't know, but man, you ought to see him go, twisting the night away. He's dancing with that chick in slacks. She's a moving up and back. Man, there ain't nothing like twisting the night away. Twisting. Everybody's feeling great. Twisting. They were twisting the night away. Here's a fella in blue jeans, dancing with some older queen, who's dolled up in her diamond rings, twisting the night away. Man, you ought to see her go, twisted to the rock and roll. Here you find the young and old, twisting the night away. They were twisting. Everybody's feeling great, twisting. They were twisting the night away. Everybody's twisting. Everybody's feeling great, twisting. They were twisting the night away. Everybody's twisting the night away. Let's all twisting the night away.
Hey. Great song.
It is great, isn't it? It is great.
Great song. Great song.
Brilliant. Great.
And it's one of those songs. I mean, when I go out DJing, unless I'm in like a club and I've been asked to play sort of like house or R&B, but sort of like in a general sort of environment, it's a record you can play and everybody's go straight to dance floor.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I think it's on an album as well called Sam Cooke at the Copa, which the famous Copacabana. He played it twice in his career. He played it very early on in the 50s, and he was a flop because he did gospel music. And the audience in the Copa were Italian Americans, and they were just about getting used to having black comedians.
Full of mafia in there, wasn't it?
It was, pardon?
Full of the mafia in there. Wasn't it?
Yeah. And they was they just about had Sammy Davis on in there, and I think black comedians. So it was quite a big thing for Sam Cooke to play there. But he sang gospel music, and he just died a death. And the guy who ran it was a guy called Jules Bedell. And he said to Sam Cooke, "You'll never play this club again." But later on I think it was 62, he asked to go back again. And he said, "Look, I'm not bothered about money. I just want to play the Copa again. Give me a chance to sort of put things right." And they put in a bit more of a brass-based band. And they did all of the hits. And the opening number on the album is that song, Twistin'. So, and he tore the place apart. The audience went nuts because he came onto that, and he did "You Send Me" and all those great songs, "Cupid," all those incredible Sam Cooke songs, and he was a huge hit there. But it was the album. It was recorded that night. I think it's the best album he ever did. It's called Sam Cooke Live at the Copa.
I'll have to get that.
You know, his backing singer was
No.
Lou Rawls.
Was he? Wow.
Lou Rawls, yeah, because when he moved to Chicago, I think it was Chicago. Lou Rawls was in like another gospel band, and they were rivals as well as neighbours. They were rivals, but they became friends. He was only a young kid, but there you go. But something else I found strange about it was this Bobby Womack, who was the brother of, you remember Womack and Womack?
Yeah.
Bobby Womack. He was like a talented sort of writer. He wrote for a lot of people, but he fell out of favour with everybody. But he was friends with Sam Cooke. He was a backing guitarist for Sam Cooke. And after Sam Cooke died, Sam Cooke got murdered in December. In the February, he married Sam Cooke's widow. Which
That's right, yeah.
Seems a bit strange to me.
Yeah, it was odd, that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A couple of great biographies about you can get at the moment. Great biographies about Sam Cooke.
It's good, isn't it? It is good, but it's just, it's just frustrating that you don't know what happened on that night. You think, well, I mean, it doesn't change anything for his music. Was still fantastic music, lovely music.
So, Jem, back to you.
So this next song is a little bit off the wall. This one, of course, I had to do a musical song, okay, because that's been the biggest part of my life. So I've got to do a musical song. And we were talking about it this afternoon, and Andy was like, "Well, what was the favourite musical you did?" I'm not going to say the name of the musical. It's not the one you're thinking of, Thomas. Okay, but this was the first time I actually got a proper speaking role as well. I'd done other shows where I played main roles, but they were all singing. There was no talking. And this particular one, I actually had a speaking role and some of the biggest songs.
Have you got roller skates on?
No, I haven't got roller skates on. See, wasn't it? And this show was all in German. The songs were in English, but all the text was in German. And the first day of rehearsals, when I got offered the role, I'd gone into the theatre because we had about 3 months before we started rehearsals, and asked if I could have the script. Because at the time I didn't speak any German. I'd only done Starlight, where we learnt everything phonetically. So I was going around on skates singing songs I didn't know what the words meant. So is there any chance I get a script so I can familiarise myself with the text and all this? Yeah, we'll get one sent with you. Never got it. So the first day of rehearsals, we turn up, we do a script read. So you've got everybody, apart from 2 of us, were all German. There was one girl, she was Italian, but she spoke fluent German, and me. And I remember sat there, and the one line I had to say, I'll say it properly in German, was, "Der Meister ist noch Junggeselle." Und ich bezweifle,
Der Meister ist Junggeselle.
Junggeselle. Und ich bezweifle, dass jetzt nicht heiraten will. Okay.
Very good.
I'm not joking. I sat there for about 15 minutes. Der Meister ist not Junggeselle, because they pronounce different things. And the director sat there like this.
Sorry, do you know if I was in that room, what I would have done, how I would have pronounced it?
Go on.
I'd looked at the script and I'd have gone, 2 World Wars and 1 World Cup?
Funny enough, that sounds like one of the movies you were in, Thomas. There's a lot of German in there.
Yes, there is.
Overdubbing.
Oh, yeah, involving the man coming to fix the fridge.
The director sat there.
Your fridges need fixing? Yeah.
The director sat there with his hands in his head, like this, as if, you know, I've made the biggest mistake. And we ended up becoming really good mates, and we did a lot of shows after that.
That German was spot on there, Jim. That was really good.
I lived there for a while, so I did get the linger in the end of it. But this isn't a song that I sang in the show, but you're all going to know the show when I sing it. Let's have a little. I told you it's going to be off the wall. Let's have a little bit of this. Okay. How'd you do, I? See, you've met my faithful handyman. He's just a little brought down, 'cause when you knocked, he thought you were the candy man. Don't get strung out by the way I look. Don't judge a book by its cover. I'm not much of a man by the night of day, but by night I am one hell of a lover. I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Let me show you around, maybe play your sound. Looks like you're both pretty groovy. Or if you want something visual that's not too abysmal, we'll take in an old Steve Reeves movie. Well, you've got Corn with a Flat. Well, how about that? Well, baby, don't you panic. By the light of day, love be okay. I'll get you a satanic mechanic. I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Ha ha! Why don't you stay for the night? Or maybe a bite? I'll show you my favorite obsession. I've been making a man with blonde hair and a tan, and he's good for relieving my tension. I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Ha ha! I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. So, come up to the lab and see what's on the slab. I see you shiver with anticipation. But maybe the rain isn't really to blame. So I'll relieve the cause, but not the symptoms. Yeah. Woo! Yeah,
Hey.
slightly different to what we've been having tonight.
That's good.
Wow, that was a tour de force, that.
Oh, I tell you what, so that was my most favourite musical to do.
That was incredible.
Every night on stage, it was just. I don't know if I can say this on YouTube. I was paid to play with myself. Let's put it that way. Every night on stage, it was honestly such.
Sorry, let's just rewind a second.
No,
Yeah.
don't.
Imagine the set. Okay, so you've got the main set, and on the side of it, because I played Riff Raff, on the side of the stage, I had this whole laboratory that was my laboratory. And the director said, okay, at this point, while this scene's happening, all I want you to do is inject yourself with a sex drug and just do what comes.
Pardon?
Literally. I just used to, honestly, it was great cast, great fun. Just brilliant. I had
Sorry. When you say inject yourself with a sex drug, that was the character having to inject himself with a sex drug, or was that you having to do that to get into character?
No, I did that in the dressing room before the show, which made it a little bit easier for when I was back.
Oh, right, yeah.
Brilliant.
If I'm honest, I feel a bit left out because I don't remember that one in The Sound of Music, and I've seen it 3
It was one of the nuns.
And what's incredible with that show is how the whole audience, the audience are part of the show. I mean, we used to sell kits when you walk in, and you buy this little bag, and inside would be toilet paper, there'd be rice, there'd be water pistols, and they know the show that well that there's even specific lines that they have to say. So every time Janet says her name, which is Janet Weiss, they all repeat it, but they say it in the German way. So Janet Weiss, and we all have to leave these little gaps within the show for the audience to join in. It's the only thing I felt sorry for was the cleaners the next day, because literally there's toilet paper all over the place. There's rice been sprayed as well, so it's just brilliant.
Wow.
Best time.
You saw Mrs. Murphy there?
Yes.
In her pyjamas.
Come down in her pyjamas.
Hey?
They saw you.
I think she's giving you a little nod there, Ace, saying you better hurry up. Hey? I've got the red pyjamas on tonight.
I think it was when she heard Jem talking about a sex drug. Like...
Well, look, I think we're going to have to wrap things up here, because Mrs. M is... she's ready. Yeah. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I've been looking at the time. Do you know, we came on air at 9:30. It's nearly 11 o'clock.
Wow.
So, what are you doing, Sophia? Thank you. That's my daughter who should be in bed.
So, should we get Asa to finish off then?
Yeah. So, Asa, we're going to ask you to finish the show, if that's okay.
Okay.
We're gonna say good night and God bless to everybody. And now I'm hoping. Well, I'll leave it to you. You can do the song you practiced yesterday.
Is okay. Well, it's funny because I was going to do the one obviously which gets released next week on.
Let's do that. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what we talked about. We're talking about songs again, and I had a little go. I'll play a little ditty bit of this, and then I want to play "Hope on the Rise" if that's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But Thomas mentioned this song to me. And again, I learned something from this. That this song was recorded by Paul Young, but it was actually written by Hall and Oates. And their
I only knew
version,
that because Ian told me.
Right. Well, their version is like incredibly different. So different. It's like an acoustic, almost funky version. But I thought I'll do a little ditty bit of that, and then I wanted to just play just because of the situation we're in, and also a bit of a thank you as well to both Ian and to Jem and yourself for what you're doing during this particular time, is giving people hope and giving people entertainment and keeping people's spirits up during this difficult time. What you're doing. Thanks very much.
What's she doing? What's she doing?
She just handed that. There's nothing in it. She just give me that for? Oh, she just poured herself a vodka and Coke.
It's just Coke.
Get out of it.
Can you tell her that we're having quite a few comments on her pyjamas? Our viewers like her pyjamas.
People are commenting on your pyjamas, please, Cal. Yeah. Okay, so the how's that guitar wise, guys?
That
Is that
perfect.
not too loud?
No, that sounds perfect.
That's great.
Okay.
Asa, we're gonna see you again on Sunday, aren't we? You're doing a full show for us on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm going to do a show. It's all right. I've got that. Thanks.
Tango now, have you?
Oh, from there, been tangoed. I'm getting.
Is it, a booth? Is it a booth outside or what?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Woo!
I'm getting.
I'm being funny. Asa, I'm not being funny, but you're punching above your weight, isn't you?
Thank you very much.
Hang on, Asa.
You said you're punching above your weight. Yeah.
Every time you've been to Park Farm and you've introduced me to your wife, that's not the person you've introduced me to.
Well, you know what you said before about being on a promise? That's obviously just gone now. Thank you for that, Thomas. On Sunday I'll be doing swing. I'll be doing stuff with the backing music, so I'm going to put my suit on and the whole lot, and we'll do all the great swing stuff. But it's nice to sort of chill out and do something a bit different.
Can you get the guitar out? Can you bring the guitar on Sunday?
Of course I can. Yeah.
Let's do some Irish songs, maybe.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Well, we're going to say good night to everybody. We're going to let Asa play the show out.
Okay.
And this is the song. So how can people buy this song, Asa?
Well, I'm going to do a little bit of the one you asked me to do, just because I've rehearsed it.
Yeah.
The other song, "Hope on the Rise." hopefully will be released within the next week or so on iTunes, and I'll put that on social media.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
And what we'll do then is we'll choose. Then I have to affiliate it with a charity. Obviously, a lot of people are giving money to the NHS, but I want to specify a particular part of the NHS that the money goes to. So here in Liverpool, we've got different areas. Obviously, the hospital here in Liverpool, so that's what we've got to do as well. But the song, I wrote the song about 2.5 weeks ago, Hope on the Rise, about the situation we're going through, the way it's bringing the communities together. People are out on the doorsteps clapping hands, neighbours are helping each other, singers are going out and singing, not for money, just on social media. People are doing things to keep people's spirits up, and it's basically restoring a lot of people's faith in humankind.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, and that's not belittling the loss of life, which is awful,
No.
a terrible thing, but just the kindness that's being shown has been quite amazing.
Well, Asa, thank you very much for your company this evening. Thank you to Gem and Ian as well. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks,
I
guys.
think we should do this more often. It's been really, really good.
Great fun.
So from all of us, it's good night, God bless, and we're going to leave you in the very capable hands of our good friend, Mr. Asa Murphy.
Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. Babe, we can't solve any problem. Why do we lose so many tears? Oh, so you go again when the leading man appears. Always the same thing. Can't you see we got everything going on and on and on? And every time you go away, you take a piece of me with you. And every time you go away, you take a piece of me with you. Go on and go free. Maybe you're too close to see, and I can feel your body move. It doesn't mean that much to me. I can't go on saying the same thing. Can't you see that we got everything going on and on and on? And every time you go away, you take a piece of me with you. And every time you go away, you take a piece of me with you. Every time you go away, oh, you take a piece of me with you. Every time you go away, you take a piece of me with you. Okay, right. I'm going to finish with Hope on the Rise. Thanks, guys. Like I say, this will be available on iTunes, and we'll let everybody know as soon as possible. Like I say, but here we go. We're living through a time we've never seen before, and how we treat each other tells us even more. We stand together and we clap our hands as one. That out of something bad maybe some good may come. So look up and open up your eyes, 'cause there's hope on the rise. How can we thank you for the love that you have shown? To save the lives of others may well cost your own. And if you've ever lost your faith in humankind, just look at what's been done and know what you will find. So look up and open up your eyes. There's hope on the rise. There are people helping strangers. There are singers singing proud. So many acts of kindness, Lord, it makes me shout out loud. Oh, look up, open up your eyes. There's hope on the rise. So look up, open up your eyes. There's hope on the rise. There's hope on the rise. There's hope on the rise.